everybody, how's it going? StormeDegree 15 here, and welcome back to another reaction. We're going to be reacting to Nostalgia today with his newest episode on his review of the movie El Dorado. Now, or The Road to El Dorado, more specifically. Now, The Road to El Dorado, that is a movie I have not watched in a long time. I do know of it. I have seen some brief reviews now to kind of catch up with it. It was a movie about, these two adventurers who find a tribe of people and they're seen as gods, right? I remember that. But overall, I don't remember much. I do remember the one song, The Trail We Place, but other than that, I don't remember much of what happened in this movie. But I do remember liking it from what I've known. So, who knows? Maybe maybe Doug will think so. Let's see. Let's have him remember it so we don't have to. Sorry, I took his line from him, but yeah, he's gonna say it anyway. But point is, let's get on with it. In 3, 2, 1. There we go. Still such a good intro, despite after all this time. Bum, bum, ba-dum. Oh, such a good intro. I can't get enough of it. Alright, Doug. I'm back in Nostalgia Critic.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember it so you don't have to. For a while, I've had people asking me to review the movie Road to El Dorado. The issue is the movie's gotten quite the following over the years, and while I can't say I dislike it, I can't say I really enjoy it that much either, so I'm gonna stay away from it for a little
bit. Come on, Mr. McCritic, give it a chance!
Chester, you're a fan of this movie?
Hell yeah, it's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life!
You okay? You almost sound drunk. More than usual.
Yeah, well, you should shut up! I mean, ooh, it's the warm weather that apparently no scientist can explain.
Scientist?
Maybe
really?
Somebody else would like to see you review the movie.
Oh yeah, the other character.
Aunt Despair? You're hanging out with Chester?
Yeah, we got along great.
She's got a Q-tip in her mouth.
Where we reviewed Home Alone 2 together. I mean, whatever episode that was. Do you remember, Chester?
I'm gonna get why.
I know. Let's bring in someone else who wants to see you review this movie. Come on in, chart guy.
Charts. The chart guy.
Okay, what's going on here? None of you are teamed up with who you're usually teamed up with.
Holy shit, Mr. McCritic!
And you sound like a constipated George C. Scott.
Whoa! Where'd you get that gun?
Fine, drop the act.
That is like a gun. Hold on. Okay, I didn't mean to pause on that face, but what I wanted to see was. Let me look at that gun real quick.
You sound like a constipated George C. Scott.
Okay, forgive me if I have the wrong gun, but like based on that little chainsaw piece at the bottom, I'm pretty sure other games have it. It looks like a Gears of War gun almost. Although like the lighting on it is a bit different. I don't know. It reminds me very much of Gears of War. It's probably from a different game, but I was just making sure. Anyways. Oh no.
Alright, I think the jig's up.
Fine, drop the act.
Fangirl! Devil boner!
Oh!
Betty!
Okay,
thank God you two look alike, because for a second I thought that meant I was racist.
I think it still does.
Regardless, we're here to make sure you review Road to El Dorado.
Alright.
Why?
Because, like you said, it has a fan base, and all of us are super into it. I mean, look at this movie. How can you say no to it?
Wait a minute.
What?
You three aren't the only one in disguise.
What are you talking about?
Oh, wait. What? What the heck?
This is actually a Road 2 movie!
What is that? Yeah, like Fury Road or?
No, those old Bob Hope movies.
I don't know those. Sorry.
Family Guy did parodies of them.
And even that
I don't watch that much Family Guy, so I don't know. Sorry.
I have no memory of that.
Gotta make room in the vault.
Okay.
So are you saying it's a parody of those?
Just for the history.
Okay. Alright. The Road to El Dorado.
Animation certainly has more of an identity now, with most of the films sticking pretty close to the Shrek design. In the early days, they were still testing the waters. The hand-drawn Prince of Egypt seemed to do well, as did the CGI film Ants, and the same could be said for their stop-motion film Chicken Run. So in 2000, when their next hand...
Speaking of which, I know this is a weird tangent, but I was told they're making a sequel to Chicken Run after all these years, which is very, very strange, but still something I was told, but I can't believe it. Anyways, back to this.
Drawn film was said to be inspired by a film series 60 years old. People were confused.
The Road to blah blah blah
usually broke the fourth wall, upset the status quo, and led to a lot of zany antics and one-liners. Think of more laid-back Marx Brothers. The series showed live-action people trying to be cartoons, so logically, having the same premise be a cartoon would make sense.
Right.
There was a problem, though. They didn't move like cartoons, they moved more like real people, which seems like a step backwards for an animated comedy. Part
Yeah,
of the
that is
reason for
kinda
this the
strange,
film
actually.
bizarrely changed gears in development when Katzenberg demanded he wanted to be an adult PG-13 drama. After Prince of
Okay.
Egypt seemed so heavy, though, he changed it to a comedy. Then after he realized they'd be missing out on the kid market, they toned it down to a family-friendly PG. The writers got so fed up with the tone changes, they ended up leaving the film and declared it El Dorado, the city on hold. The
Dang.
public had a similar reaction. It got
Oh.
underwhelming reviews, and it
Oh, did you see that for a second? Hold on. Sorry if you keep pausing, but I would just want to see. Did you see the gold, like, on that on that part? It was really
hard
gross.
to see why. It's a gorgeous movie with catchy songs and an occasional laugh. Truth be told, if I grew up with this, I think I would have a soft spot for it too. But those production problems do clearly hold it back from its full potential.
Okay.
However, does not living up to its full potential still mean it's giving just enough potential? Well, we're gonna take a closer look.
All right, but God help you if you're too tough on this movie. Us animation fans can be quite tough.
Do you even have muscle mass on you?
You ever feel like we should say
No
no?
offense to Tamara, by the
Yeah,
way.
but then she
Just-
does the pouty face, and I'm like, how can I say no to that?
Let's take a look at Road to El Dorado. We open on a credit sequence that has no credits. Funny, looks like the perfect spot to place them. And we're introduced to our main characters, a pair of con artists named Tulio and Miguel, played by Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh.
Okay.
Tons of gold for you, and tons of gold for me.
Gay.
Wouldn't you
Yeah,
just
let's
think
get
of them
that
as
out of the
street
way. These
performers
two are
instead of
totally
con
a couple.
artists?
They weren't intended to be, but they slip way too well into the Siegfried and Roy costumes.
Not with the face. No. No.
Paul Lynn is like, there's being into each other than there's being into each other. Funny enough, I do think they'd have more chemistry if they were a couple, but in 2000, they're just cousins.
Now I'm the thief. Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting development.
Take a look in the mirror, pal.
A little mincing would be nice.
Okay, they're technically just friends, constantly trying to swindle whoever they can to get by, gambling for a stranger's map to the city of El Dorado.
My map against your cash.
Alright, so I already know I'm gonna piss off a lot of people with this review. I might as well start a burn 'em with fire hot take count.
Okay.
One, I don't like Miguel's design.
Miguel?
Tulio's not bad. He's got a bit of an Aladdin if he was in Prince of Egypt vibe. You can see him being charming and funny.
All right.
But Miguel, you ever do a drawing that's totally fine, but then you keep adding details and it kind of ruins it? That's
Yeah.
Miguel's face to me. You can tell he's supposed to be good looking, but there's just too much going on, and I don't like looking at it. The
I
shot
see.
of him looking right at the camera is one of the most uncomfortable things I've ever seen.
Well, when
He
it's
looks
on
like
for
Richard
that long,
Branson
it
if he was
is
intentionally trying
uncomfortable.
to scare you. I don't care if he started a meme. Okay, that is still pretty funny, but I don't know. Maybe it's a personal
Oh, I gotta
preference.
find
Y'all
that
gonna hate
meme.
me for anything bad I say about this movie anyway, so burn that bridge!
Your dice are loaded.
Tulio and Miguel get the map, but the people discover they've been cheated, so the two of them make a run for it.
You pet him. Yeah, I'll.
Okay, hot take number 2. The animation is gorgeous, but it's not funny.
Gorgeous
It's
but not
interesting
funny.
because I've talked about how sometimes that zigzaggy, hyper-fast animation can be too much if there isn't enough variation in some animated comedies.
true.
Surprisingly, this is the opposite. Everybody moves too slow, or ironically, too human.
Yeah, that is kind of.
I get the feeling the move they were going for was something like Princess Bride, or like what it was originally based on, the Road 2 movies. Something that's shot in real life but has cartoony elements.
True.
Well, what made those work is that they were shot in real life, so when they did do something cartoony, it exaggerates the comedy. For
I
some
see what
reason,
you're getting
this
at.
movie thinks the reverse will work. It's already a cartoon, so having them move more realistically will be funny. Maybe once in a while to emphasize the size or surrealness of
mean-
something that can.
Well, wasn't this? I mean, yeah, they did switch it to a comedy, but wasn't it initially like a more realistic and dramatic approach to it? Isn't that what you said earlier? So, I mean, maybe they were still focused on that before they switched it to a comedy. You never know.
Work, but honestly, because it's already a cartoon, it needs to move zanier. Across the Spider-Verse is funny not because they move realistically, even though they do a good chunk of the time, but because in the humorous moments they move in a fast, exaggerated way we're not used to. It keeps us on our toes and the energy high. I really feel like these scenes would get a bigger laugh if they moved like Hotel Transylvania, with the movements enhancing the energy rather than limiting it. Otherwise, you pretty much get the awkward slapstick from Prince of Egypt. But instead of just lasting 10 minutes, it lasts the whole movie. With that said, there are still a few chuckles from time to time.
What's happening here?
We're both in barrel.
Oh yeah,
That's
this
the
part. I
extent
remember
of
this.
my knowledge.
We are now in the DreamWorks logo. Thank God it is boss babyless.
Yep.
It turns
Yeah,
out
that
I'm
part.
accidentally thrown onto the ship of Hernan Cortez, who surprisingly plays a small role given his Jesus Christ history, and he sentences them to slavery.
You will be flogged, and when we put into Cuba, you will be flogged some more.
Dang.
All right.
That is
What?
the face of someone who's been flogged before. Come on, movie, you know what you're doing.
Yeah. Those are some pretty weird faces. Why is he doing so many face like to the screen moments? It's really weird. I mean, I know that's what Doug said, but
You want a nice apple? Find a pry bar.
They use the horse on the ship to help them break out.
He can't understand pry bar.
Oh yes, he can. Just say it's like pry barring you away from his ass. If you thought there'd be any less than 5 of these jokes in this review, you seriously underestimated my maturity. And they sneak out via rowboat.
and the horse comes with them, and a dead bird. Oh God!
I guess I could comment on how that's probably a nod to Spielberg, but I'm more fascinated they actually gave that seagull a bunghole. Maybe
Oh,
because they're not
God.
to Katzenberg.
I kind of noticed that myself.
They get to an island, and Miguel puts together this is probably the island that holds the city of El Dorado.
We'll follow.
Man, he's got plenty of crazy places. And there's a rock in the way. That's trail we place.
You know, I'll be honest, I want to laugh at this. The setups are there, the animation's pretty, I want to enjoy a good punchline. But these are like if the jokes from Frasier were removed and all we got were the characters rolling their eyes. I want to laugh at whatever they're rolling their eyes at, but all I get is the OU face.
I see.
On the trail we play.
Oh, by the way,
You
the
know, I
songs
can
are by
kinda
Elton
get
John
that,
and
what
Tim
they're getting
Rice,
at.
which brings me to my third hot take. It's okay, it's actually pro this movie. I actually like these songs more than Lion King.
Really?
I mentioned before, aside from Circle of Life and Be Prepared,
Really,
I
Doug?
actually found the songs from that movie a little bland and even a touch annoying. These songs, though, are real toe tappers. Almost all of them I hum immediately after hearing, and they match the movie's tone and atmosphere really
Okay.
well.
Changing legend into fact.
All right. I might have
Shall
to.
ride into history.
I'm not sure why they didn't have the main characters
those are
sing
pretty
the
good.
songs, though. Elton John surprisingly sounds like these two, and all you'd have to do is move their mouths, and I believe they were singing. Maybe they saw Phil Collins win an Oscar for Tarzan and said, hey, we can try Les to win awards too. Burn, baby, burn.
Paradise.
Oh, not a good place
Wow,
to
the
pause.
evidence
Oh
is
my
really
God.
piling
I'm
up.
so sorry about that. Okay. Sorry. I did not mean to pause there. But what I was gonna say. Oh my gosh. What was I gonna? Oh, dang it. I lost my train of thought. Damn. What was it? Oh, sorry. Dang it.
I know I already mentioned this like a million times, but Christ.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Okay, sorry. But it's too late. The moment's passed. Okay, I was just gonna say that you might, if he's burning this many bridges, a bunch of bridge people are gonna really hate Doug. Anyways, horrible part.
Animation is beautiful.
Just move on.
Look at how seamlessly the CG blends with the hand-drawn animation. Even when it's done well, it usually sticks out like a sore thumb, but this is masterfully blended with some phenomenally vibrant colors.
I agree with you there on those parts, but what is with me with these pausing on these weird moments? What I'm trying to say is, there was one part that it really stuck out, like when they were on like a ship full of gold, and the gold was very reflective and CGI-ish. Maybe that it was the problem because it was a metallic surface, but I don't know. Anyways, let's get off this picture of a piranha biting his ass.
This came out 23 years ago, and admit it looks
23
like a movie
years?
that was animated today. That is quite
Dang.
an accomplishment.
I didn't think it was that
They
old.
run into a thief named Chell, played by Rosie Perez, being chased by locals.
We're tourists. Tourists. May we go now? Spears.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That isn't funny, but can't you see it being funny?
Yeah.
If there was like 20 spears that came in 10 times faster and he was completely still, except maybe his eyes and mouth moving, That would work. That'd get a laugh.
Yeah.
This movie is trying so hard to look like an animated epic when really it just needs to try harder to be a funny cartoon. You know those reanimate videos you see on YouTube where they take a scene from something animated and reanimate it?
I love
want
those.
the budget of this movie given to these people to rework these scenes.
I bet there's someone who's done that already.
On that note, when they are taken to El Dorado, which no surprise is absolutely beautiful, the film does get a little better. The epic size of the animation pays off, and truth be told, Chell adds a lot to the trio.
Really?
The gods sent me a vision to bring them tribute from the temple to guide them here.
Which brings me to hot take number 4. I think Chell should have been the main character.
Really?
She so easily could have been a restless princess defying her parents like a lot of animated ladies, but not only did DreamWorks surprisingly not do that in their hand-drawn films, CG on the other hand, but Chell is legit pretty funny, and her expressions are allowed to go off model a bit for comedy. Tulio and Miguel seem held back by their designs for some reason, but Chell gets some really funny reactions.
Be gone!
Are you serious?
Do you mind?
No.
Oh, like you don't want to go to Spain.
Oh, like you don't want me to want to go to Spain.
I think if the story was about her as a thief in El Dorado, which is already pretty funny, stealing in a city made of gold, as she stumbles across these con men she decides to con with, maybe even conning them over, that would have been an interesting spin.
That is pretty
Instead,
clever
we
of
get
an
the
idea.
thing where the natives think they're gods and she stays the comic relief to what are pretty much already comic relief.
We shall have to unleash our terrible power, and you don't want that.
Of course we do!
Amanda Sante plays the High Priest, who's a decent villain. I wanted a better story. He has a great design, great expressions, a great actor, but he just does exactly what you would think a character like this would do.
And nothing more than that?
Power, thinks they're gods, finds out they're not gods, and then tries to kill them. I feel like that's most of the movie, people doing exactly what you would think they would do with the jokes you think they would tell.
Right.
With that said, Chell does put together they're not gods and decides to keep their secret if they include her on their rise to power.
Think you're the only ones who dream of better things?
I mean, that's a clever idea.
You've got your reasons, and I've got mine.
Let's drop it just as quickly as the movie does. No, really, we never do come back to this.
Darn.
Do you mind?
Bye.
Only he can see me naked. As I practice on my pants what I will do to him tonight. Damn, PG movie!
Oh,
I
come
know how you sum
on.
it up in your rating description, but something deserves to be on there.
Also, the look on his face. Okay, I gotta unpause.
I hardly
That was funny though.
qualified.
Oh, so they do sing in this.
So much
Just
for
going
like
back and forth
their
between
expressions not
their
being funny.
singing and some random Elton John guy is singing. Oh, what do I care? This song's a jam.
It's tough to
Alright.
be a god, but if you get the people's nod,
No, really, I apologize for the next 5 days you trying to battle this earworm out of your head.
it's tough to be a god.
Well, I mean, thanks to copyright, I'll have to cut it off. Oh, come on, dog. You have to use a literal earworm.
Well, great, I have to hum this 8 times in order to get that out of my head. Here's
DuckTales.
something like
Woo! Darn. Would have been funny if someone sung it behind
What's
him.
up, everyone? It's Kayla. On
I don't
behalf of
care.
Grammar.
It's tough to be a guy. Nope, didn't work.
Nope.
Tulio and Miguel demand a boat be made for them to ascend, which of course is code for escape with a bunch of their riches.
Right.
As the chief, played by Edward James Olmos, says they can make one in 3 days.
We just
All right.
need to lie low. Tulio, this place is amazing. I mean, I wonder what's over.
Wow, we just had a record scratch, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, this wasn't quite the death to comedy that is now, but in 2000, this was the somebody stuttering over a big moment scene.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, did you want to?
Sorry, I'll let you.
Next time.
It's on its way out.
Yeah.
Stand back. Anyone who disobeys
I don't know.
orders
I mean,
must be punished.
I find the record scratch kind of funny. I still laugh every time the SpongeBob movie does it after the goofy, and then just boom, just record scratch. It's pretty funny.
As you ordered, when you were drunk.
Oh yes, that does sound like drunk me. Miguel walks around El Dorado and finds himself enjoying the place and its strangely cross-eyed children, and he learns not to be so bossy.
The more I learn, the more I see.
Well, at least he gets a
Oh,
solid
what an
character
amazing
development.
arc I'm going through. Me, the red one, totally different from the blue one. Like, I'm dumb. Oh, actually, he can be pretty dumb. I'm egocentric. He's pretty egocentric. I'm silly. I do not know the difference between these two. I'm sure there's some if I go digging really deep, but if you were to give me any of their lines written down, I wouldn't be able to tell you which one said it. The only big difference is Tulio slept with Shell. Wait, what?
What's he gonna think if he finds one of the gods like this with me?
Lucky God?
Okay, not only am I surprised they had this in an animated
that
family
was a
film, but
crazy scene.
again, if you show these three, who do you think would be sleeping with who? Yeah, aside from the occasional glance, these two have no chemistry. I guess you could argue that's kind of the point, like they say they just want it to be a physical thing, but they do go off with one another at the end. I do think I'm supposed to want to see them together. Once again, I buy Miguel's jealousy over him sleeping with her more, and you know exactly why. I'm showing much more cleavage than her. You're lost, Tulio. My blonde carpet would have rocked your world.
Okay.
That's about it.
Honestly, that would kind of be a funny dynamic if that was actually in there. Too bad it would never be in some. I mean, maybe, you never know.
Aimless says, oh, we rapping now?
This is how the gods should play.
The two of them are dragged into a game they don't know how to play.
Right.
Again, being animation, I was really hoping for some bed knobs and broomsticks soccer game comedy, but yeah, they're supposed to move realistic, so isn't this hilarious?
Excuse me.
Yeah, right. You have to hit it with your hips.
That's a goal! What of it? Oh, look, their hair's messy. Movie, I want to like you. I want to like you. Why are you making it so hard? Oh, wait, I'm quoting Miguel's lines again. Well, they'll have to look deep inside themselves to find the strength they never knew they had. Nope, they just cheat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. They're using the armadillo.
We need to cheat.
Okay, I'll admit it. I like that through most of this movie they get away with their schemes and don't learn much of a lesson. That's actually kind of refreshing.
There will be no
To the
sacrifices. Get out.
When the high priest sees one of them bleed, he puts together they're not gods and summons a supernatural creature to take them out. But not before Miguel has second thoughts about leaving the city.
If you wish to stay, you only need to say so.
I have to go back with Tulio. We're partners.
And I don't know what their laws on partners are here, you know what I mean?
My mistake.
To err is human.
I like the chief puts together they're not gods and is honestly still okay with them. For a liar reveal story, I am glad we don't get that pretentious third act of everybody sulking once the truth comes out. For as many tired tropes as this movie has, the amount it leaves out or even breaks does stop it from being annoying. It's just dull. But at least it's not annoying, you know. It's still pretty dull.
That was like...
Even when this monster attacks, it looks cool, but...
Yeah, it does.
There's not a ton of it. This thing clearly should have been the climax of the movie, but instead, it's only on for a minute and a half. I want more of this thing. To its credit, though, it does lead to maybe the biggest laugh.
What is it?
Not gods. You're not a god?
That is legitimately hilarious.
Okay, that's pretty good.
It turns out this is all a trick on the villain, though, which softens the joke, but screw it, I'll take the laughs I can get. And they knock him into the whirlpool, dumping him out at Cortez. Well,
Right, and then he finds the other
fake
people.
gods. The body of you compels me!
My lord.
Yep, he thinks these guys are gods now. Man, anyone with a horse can start a religion to this dude.
Apparently,
Just as
yeah.
Julio and Chell are about to take off, leaving Miguel behind. Just pinch my ass one more time. Fine! You will forever be known as the man who lost this queen!
Come on, dog.
Nope, absolutely nothing.
Yep. Man, really?
By the way, when they wanted to make this film more family-friendly, they reportedly had to draw Chell a lot less sexy. How the hell did she look before if this was the less sexy version?
That actually is a very good... No, come on, dog.
It looks like the priest is leading Cortez to the city, so they have to find a way to block off the entrance. Or as Miguel calls it, the Chell. But
They're breaking too fast. They're not gonna make it.
why don't we use that magic shit from earlier? Was there really only one guy who knew that magic shit from earlier? If
Well, actually, yeah, that's a good point. But, sorry. I was gonna say, I think, yeah, because it was him. He was the only one who summoned it, so no, they couldn't get another one.
I saw even a fraction of that magic shit from earlier. I teach like 1,000,000 people that magic shit from earlier.
I don't know.
They tried to destroy the pillars to block...
I actually do have something to say. I was gonna say, you know, with that kind of magic, he probably could have convinced his people he was a god, you know? If he's so obsessed with, like, gods and stuff. You never know.
Get off, of course resulting in Miguel helping out and all the gold being left behind.
Get off the boat, Miguel, or you'll never see the city again. You don't think I'm gonna let you have all the fun, do you?
I just discovered what an armadillo is, and I have plans for us. That's right, Miguel is here to be the climax in this anti-climax. As we get an action scene, there's some pretty good water animation for the time.
Yeah.
They had plenty of practice.
But again,
It's
the gold
basically
looks
over
really
before
bad.
It starts. The entrance vanishes, and Cortez gives up pretty quickly on the whole quest for El Dorado thing.
There is no El Dorado here. Onward, men.
I will search to the ends of the earth, but it's Thursday, practically Friday. Let's just mark.
Yeah, he gives up pretty easily.
We end on another huge laugh. Yeah, funny. And the movie finally wraps up.
So, what's the final verdict?
Well, it's hard to say it's a bad movie.
Indeed.
It's just harder to say it's a good movie. I expected that.
Yeah.
I want to get
Good reaction to that
I want to
shot,
be on board
Doug.
with the following it has because there is a lot to admire. The animation is stunning, the premise is inventive enough, the cast is good, the songs are memorable, it just falls short in the charm and humor category, which is a big problem when you're trying to do a comedy adventure. But like I said, when the jokes don't work, they're not awful or annoying. I can think of a lot of comedies that I would hate to rewatch, and this isn't one of them. But it is slow and awkward. The film is like a less offensive A Crazy Night. Beautiful drawing style that might actually be too good. It needs to be zanier, it needs to be faster, it needs to be riskier. If you want a movie that had a similar production history but achieved bigger laughs, I'd check out The Emperor's New Groove.
Alright.
That also started out as a drama and transitioned into a comedy, but good God, it went all the way with it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna pretend that's like a perfect movie either, but man,
It was very
imagine that
good.
style with this story. Can't you just see it working better? Can't you see
Yeah, I can
these
see it
lines
very
and that
well.
slapstick really getting some belly laughs if there was a lot more energy and fast timing? As is, though, I still respect what it's trying to do, be a swashbuckling adventure with some good laughs. But when something starts off as a fourth wall-breaking comedy, then an adult drama, then a family-friendly adventure, it's not surprising we got what we got.
Yeah.
But with that said,
I was gonna say, it
it's
kind of lost
impressive
its
we got
way
what we got.
from the looks of it.
This film could have been a disaster, and it's definitely not that. There's much to admire in it, and like I said, if I was a kid who didn't grow up with these tropes yet, I'd probably love it and have a soft spot for it as an adult too. But because I didn't, I see it as an awkward, but still noble, attempt at a comedic adventure.
Well, fine. I guess we can let that slide.
Yes.
Yeah.
God help you if you say anything good, bad about this movie in the future.
That wig is
Sorry.
hilarious.
I guess we don't get into these movies as much as you do.
It's okay. I'm paying you either way.
That's a good point.
You're not paying me.
No, you're my husband.
Yeah, exactly. Being married to you isn't cheap.
I'm a nostalgia critic guy, remember?
Okay,
So
that was
you
pretty
know-
good.
We're partners.
Okay, well, I get Doug's point on that. So, overall, I do agree with him. Yeah, this is a very nice-looking film, but it does seem like it's missing the more fun stuff that we like in these kind of animated films. But honestly, I don't think it's too bad compared to what he does, but yeah, I'm not gonna attack him for it like the actor characters were. But yeah, I think it was pretty solid. So far, again, it's been a while since I've watched it, so I don't remember much of it, but I do remember it, like this movie itself, and some of the things, like the Trail We Place was a good song. I remember that, but that was kind of all I remembered. But for the most part, I think that has a lot of potential. If maybe, if someone could take notes on this film, and heck, you know what? Like Doug said, if we could get like the reanimators to reanimate this, that would actually be really, I bet it'd be really cool to watch. But overall, I'm happy to say that, yeah, I think this is a pretty, I'd say just solid film. Not great, not horrible, but solid. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this reaction. Sorry it was a bit mild. Sorry for some of the small technical difficulties. I've edited those out. It's just kind of frustrating me a little, but overall, I hope you guys liked this reaction. Make sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to support Nostalgia Critic, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!